Adam Svensson, at one point, like you're growing up in Surrey, BC, and X amount of years later, you're a full-time PGA Tour star. You're kind of one of those guys, though. It was maybe always in the cards, right? Like you weren't always like a guy to play a billion different sports or whatever. You were a phenomenal young golfer. Have you ever always felt like you're on that track?
Sorta. I mean, you always never really know, but growing up, I've won a bunch of junior tournaments and amateur, and then it kind of Canadian Tour, played well there. So it was a long process, but you never know, and you dream about it and you try to do your best, and it just happened to work out.
It's golf is such a unique professional sport because it is such a grind, especially if you are like right on the cusp, right? The guys that have to play on all the the Canadian Tour and the Corn Ferry Tour and then Q School. Oh my God, it might be like the toughest thing you can do.
Yeah.
What is like the one thing about really cementing yourself at that next level that you had to learn the reality of?
I think it just comes down to experience. The more you can play events, the more you can put yourself in contention. And the biggest thing for me was winning on the PGA Tour, because it's one thing to finish fifth or second, but winning is just such a huge deal on tour. And once you do that, I feel like you're just more comfortable. You have that inner belief and stuff like that. So that was a huge step in my career. Is the first event to win, and then obviously the next one's probably even not easier, but it's almost harder because you've done it and you want to do it again and have that same feeling.
I feel that's like an exciting part of your future, is that like so many guys, it becomes the whole narrative, right? It's like, oh, they're really good, but they've never won. You got like a win, and listen, it wasn't a major, it wasn't like the biggest event on tour, but it's a win, and you got it out of the way relatively early. Like no one can ever say that about you, and you can, like you said, you focus on number two.
Yep. Yeah, it's just every week there's an opportunity. I played 32 events this year, and every single week, you're trying to win, but you realistically it's not gonna happen. And it's more of like the RSM, I shot 1 over par the first round, not thinking I had any chance at all, and 8 under the next day, and it's just a crazy game, and you never really know. Yeah.
So do you, like, Canadian golf is at this pinnacle right now, like Pendrith had a huge year, and Corey Connors has turned into such a winner on tour. Nick Taylor, what he did at the Canadian Open was awesome. What does that do for you? I know you know all these guys in terms of inspiration, or do you all kind of push each other? You don't have to be best friends, but all of Canada has ties to all you guys.
Yeah, I think unconsciously you want to be the best Canadian player.
Yeah.
And it does. You see, Corey and Taylor's playing phenomenal golf, and I didn't have the best year, but I want to continue to be one of the best Canadian players. And I think it's more of like, Mackenzie plays good and you want to play good, or Corey, you see him win, and it's a little bit more inspiring to play better, especially from Canada.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, you're up and comer. Everyone's excited. I hope you have a great season. We're all rooting for you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man.